In this video, we will show you how to replace your front brake flex hose on this Ford F-150. This is part of your braking system located behind your front wheel. Let's get into it. Safely raise and support the front end of the vehicle so the wheel's off the ground. After you've completed that, we're going to remove our center cover. To remove your center cover, you're going to find that there's a small slot on the cover itself. You can make your way in between and gently pry. Once you've removed your center cover, a quick inspection will set that aside. Now that exposes our 6 21mm lug nuts. Let's remove all those so we can remove our wheel. Now we can continue down at the banjo bolts. This is the area that holds our flex hose to our caliper. When you go to remove this, you may find that fluid makes its way out. Make sure you have a collection receptacle under here so you can collect and recycle all of that fluid properly. We're using a 14mm for our banjo bolt. We can remove that. For the banjo bolt itself, we're giving it a close inspection. Commonly, you're going to find that you still have a pre-existing gasket on that banjo bolt. You're removing it and you're disposing of it properly. So we'll get that one off of there. I already removed the other one from the other side of the flex hose as well. That's 2 gaskets, we're disposing of them. So now just a quick inspection of the banjo bolt, confirming it is still in good usable order, not worn or damaged in any way. Now we're going to start separating our ABS wire from our brake flex hose. In the first area, closest to where the banjo bolt was, it's just a small plastic hook. As you continue following it, you're going to find that it has different mounting points here. For this, it just has 2 ears. Typically, you can take hold of that and slide it right out of place. Let's get the other one. Now we're up near the top of the flex hose. The ABS wire slides into the flex hose bracket. I'm going to remove this. And now we can see that the ABS wire goes directly up and above our flex hose. You do not need to remove it from this area, but if you did, just go ahead and take hold of it and slide it up and out of position. This may help you be able to remove your brake line from the back side here. Now that's good with the ABS wire, but up along the top of the flex hose itself, you have your vacuum lines leading to your 4-wheel drive hub. We're just going to pull those out of place as well. It's the same type of lock. Just go ahead and squeeze those 2 ears apart from each other. Now we're moving back up to the flex hose mounting bracket. For this fitting, I'm using an 11mm. It's common for this fitting to be stuck inside the brake flex hose. If that's the case, you definitely want to use a line wrench. I've already sprayed mine and broken it free. I'm using my 11mm wrench here. We'll start unscrewing our brake line. As you do this, you may find fluid makes its way out of that brake flex hose. I feel like it's getting pretty loose here. Oh yeah, I knew it was almost there. Once you have it unscrewed, a quick inspection of your brake line, confirming it's not rotted or damaged in any way. Common areas to have an issue might be along the very end, on the fitting itself, or even on the brake line closest to where the fitting is. If it's twisted due to being stuck in place, you could have a restriction, and in that case, you need to replace your brake line. This one looks fine, so I'm going to set it aside. In that same area, along the inboard side of the bracket, you're going to find that you have a metal clip holding the brake flex hose in place. Remove the metal clip, give it a quick inspection, make sure it's reusable, and set it aside. Just going to try to make my way in between, see if I can get some movement here. Now we have some movement. I'm going to continue on with some pliers, see if we can take hold of this and slide it out of place. Now we're holding onto the flex hose. We're going to start tapping along this coupler here to separate it from the bracket. Just be extremely careful for your ABS wire. Let's go ahead and give that a wiggle. We should be able to slide it out of place. There it is, friend. We have the flex hose out of place. We're continuing with a wire brush. Go ahead and clean up the mounting bracket. As I mentioned, if you did want to, you could remove your ABS wire from this area. This seems good. Okay, it's time to install the brand new front brake flex hose. We're starting with the area closest to where our brake line is going to be located. Let's have a look at the very end. In this area, you're going to find that you have a rounded corner. If you are looking in the flex hose bracket, you're going to find that it also has that area. Align it, press your flex hose into place. Install your locking clip. Let's just make sure there's no movement from that flex hose before continuing on. Now it's time for the brake line. We'll take this, get it aligned with our brake flex hose, start it in, and snug it up. Now obviously as we're aligning this, you want to make sure everything's straight as possible. If it seems like something's misaligned, more than likely it's the bracket. It could have gotten bent when you were trying to remove something. After you've ensured that it's properly aligned, we'll just continue on, starting it in, snugging it up. Okay, right there is where it bottoms out. I'm just going to try to take this a tiny bit further. We want to make sure the brake line has no movement inside of your flex hose. It should not move around at all. Double check to make sure that's secured in place. Now let's start following the brake flex hose and the ABS wire. We want to make sure we have them in the proper orientation. You just want to take that flex hose and bring it in between your vacuum lines and the ABS wire up along the top here. Start bringing this down into position. To connect the brake flex hose to that brake caliper, we're going to take one of our brand new gaskets. We'll slide it directly onto the banjo bolt. There's only one gasket on this banjo bolt now. We'll take that and we'll slide it right on through our brake flex hose. On the other side of the brake flex hose, another brand new gasket. Now there's one on each side. We'll get this into position, start it in by hand. After starting it in, snug it up, and I'm going to torque that to 25 foot-pounds. Now let's start securing that ABS wire to the flex hose. The first bracket is that hooked bracket. It just slides over this metal portion. Continue following it up now. We have our next mounting point. Same for the second. You should be able to slide this wherever you need to get it properly aligned. Of course, we're also going to secure our vacuum line to the flex hose as well. Let's start securing our vacuum hoses to the flex hose. There's two mounting points here. Slide that in, and then slide this one in as well. Double check to make sure everything's secured together properly and not near anything that can cause damage. Now the next thing you need to do is make your way up into the passenger compartment. You're going to remove the pedal depressor. With that out of place, we're back inside the wheel well at our caliper bleeder screw. Make sure you have a collection receptacle under this area. Go ahead and use your 10mm to open up your bleeder screw. Now we're just waiting for a steady trickle of fluid to make its way out. No air bubbles. Now at this point, I can see a steady trickle of fluid coming out. We're paying attention for air bubbles. As I mentioned, you need to remove all the air bubbles from inside of the braking system. Otherwise, you may find you have a braking issue. A couple light taps on the caliper could help work out any air. Once you feel as though you've removed as much air as possible, go ahead and use your 10mm to snug that bleeder screw. Clean up any mess in this area. Now we're going to pause in this area. You're going to make your way back inside the passenger compartment and pump up the brake pedal till it's nice and firm. We want to make sure the pedal feels firm, close to the top, and doesn't sink all the way down to the floor. If the brake pedal does drop for some reason, you more than likely have air inside of the braking system, in which case you have to continue on with a manual bleed. Otherwise, make sure you clean up your mess, reinstall your bleeder screw cover, and reinstall your wheel. For the lug nuts, we're going to start each of them on. Once they're all started on, we can bottom them out. We'll get the wheels safely back down on the ground. We can continue on torquing each one of our 21mm lug nuts to 150 foot-pounds in a crisscross manner. Torqued. At the master cylinder, we're going to go ahead and remove all the fluid from in this area so we can replace it with brand new brake fluid. We don't want to use any of the pre-existing brake fluid. Let's start by removing the master cylinder cap along the top. Now inside of this area, you're going to remove the brake fluid. This can be done several different ways. If you have a fluid extractor, you can go ahead and carefully bring it down to this area and remove as much fluid as possible. And we'll just go ahead and top off our fluid. We're using brand new .3 or .4 brake fluid. It's really up to you. Now we can start bleeding the brakes. We're starting at the passenger side rear. For this, it's going to be easiest if you have a second person. The second person will be inside of the vehicle, and they're going to be pumping the brake for us. What we need them to do is pump up the brake approximately 3 to 5 times until it feels firm. Once it does, we're going to open up our bleeder screw and we're going to watch the fluid making its way out. We want to have only clean, brand new fluid, never any dirty fluid or even any air bubbles. I'm going to go ahead and remove this bleeder screw cover first. I have my collection receptacle, of course. We're going to recycle any fluid that comes out of this properly. Now on this caliper, I'm using a 10mm for my bleeder screw. Now as you can see, I had a lot of dirty fluid making its way out of there. Let's continue on with our bleed process. Go ahead and pump, please. Go ahead and pump. There we go. Now we got some air coming from there. Let's go ahead and bleed this again. Now, once you feel as though you've removed all the dirty fluid and air from in the system, go ahead and remove your apparatus, and we'll continue on cleaning our mess and reinstalling the bleeder screw cover for this caliper. Now, I showed you how to bleed the caliper on one side of the vehicle. You're going to go over to the driver's side and repeat this exact same process. Once you've completed that, make your way up to the engine compartment and top off your master cylinder. After that, we're making our way to the passenger side front wheel. After topping off that master cylinder, we're at the passenger side front, as I mentioned. Go ahead and remove your bleeder screw cover. We're using our 10mm for the bleeder screw here as well. Go ahead and pump up the brake pedal, please. Go ahead and pump. Go ahead and pump. Okay, that one looks perfect. Let's get one more here just to confirm everything's proper. Let's get that off of there. We can clean up our mess. Reinstall our bleeder screw cover. Now at this point, you need to go over to the driver's side front. You're going to repeat this exact same process, and we're ending back up under the hood. We're going to bring this all the way up to the maximum line. Just a little bit more. reinstall your cap. Okay friend, we finished bleeding our system. The next thing that you want to do is make sure that you hop in the passenger compartment, pump up the brake pedal, and confirm that it stays firm. After that, reinstall every one of your wheels and torque those lug nuts to 150 foot-pounds and take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.